Happy Wednesday, everyone. It's me, Abby Device with the Fairport Public Library, and today I've got a craft for you to help you celebrate the big events that are happening right now. I know it's not as fun. We can't take people out to dinner. We can't throw big birthday parties with the whole family and all of our friends, but there are still ways to celebrate those in our lives that we love and make them a little extra special. So we're gonna do that today. Let's get started. Here are the materials you're gonna need for the craft today. A pair of scissors, a stapler, and some tissue paper. Now, a lot of people have tissue paper lying around the house. I had to go to the dollar store and buy a couple packs for $1 each, but if you have some lying around, you can just use that. I got a pastel colored bunch and I got a regular colored bunch, and I'm gonna use them in combination to make a cohesive kind of color story. So for me, you can see I've got 3 different colors right here, a light blue, a purple, and a dark blue, and I'm gonna use these to make my first flower. So I've got them stacked by size, and because I want this part to be on the inside, I'm going to flip it over when I make my first accordion fold. So to get started, I'm going to make a nice big accordion fold and press it down. Then I'm going to keep going in that vein until I've got all of the tissue paper in this stack folded. Now I'm doing this because it's a girl's birthday and she's a big fan of pastel colors. So those are the colors that I chose. But if you are doing a little boy's birthday or anybody else's, you can use whatever color combination works for you, which is why I like making these flowers so much, because you can fit it to any decor, style, or party. Now it is okay if the edges are not perfect, because you're gonna fluff this into a flower. But for now, there we go. I have got my accordion folded paper. Now I'm going to take my stapler and I'm going to find the middle of the flower by folding it like that. And then I'm going to put my staple right there. Now you want to try to make sure to get it all the way through your paper so that you don't have any problems. Now the next step, now that we've got our fan, is that we are going to cut the end on how we want it to look. So you can do a rounded edge, you can do a triangle edge. For me, I'm gonna do a rounded edge for this guy. Now I'm sticking with the blue paper as a rounded edge because the little insides are gonna be just on their own. So if you want to make everything have that little rounded edge, you can go through the littler papers beforehand and cut those to make sure that they have their own little edge. But I'll show you what I'm going to do with it after I get this unfolded. So we've got our cuts, we've got our folds, and now we are going to fan out the paper. So we're going to open it up like this, and then we're going to take our many layers and we're going to start to fluff them. So try to peel them up as much as you can to separate them. This part is just getting them going. We're gonna go through and zhuzh it up a little bit once we get into a good place where we have all of the sheets separated. So you're just grabbing it and pulling it up. I'm gonna do that with the purple. So the more layers of tissue paper you have, the bigger and fluffier your flower is going to be. Now we've got the edges that we rounded, and I'm going to start pulling that one up. If I can find the first one, there we go. Now I'm gonna have these flowers flat on a poster board, but if you wanna hang them on the wall, you can have them flat, or you can make them into a ball-like shape and you can hang them from the ceiling on a string. It's really however festive you'd like to get. All right, so just to give you a look at where we're at right now, You've got all the folds up, so it kind of looks like a butterfly right now. So now I'm gonna zhuzh it up and just kind of manipulate the tissue paper with my fingers to try to give it more of a flower shape. You can tear it a little bit to give you a little more definition of petals. Sometimes that looks good. It's really just your own preference. You can go through here and kind of figure out what works for you. Now for the purple and the blue on the inside, I'm gonna give some slits on here so I can make it kind of look more like the inside of a flower with some variation. I'm gonna leave the light blue as is, but I'm gonna give this purple a little trim to kind of give it a different differentiation between the outside and the inside. Flip it around. And there you go. Voila, a tissue paper flower. I've been a busy little bee, and I made a bunch of different flowers to put on my car to drive by my friend's house for her birthday. And I wanted to highlight some of them for you because I did different techniques on each one. So this is the one we did on the video. Here, I've got the curlicues on the edge. I just kind of cut them like grass, and now it gives us that look. For this middle one, I did a rounded edge, and it kind of looks like a carnation and all the different petals. For this one, I used a triangle technique, and it almost looks like a lotus flower with the little insides. And for the final one, I did half swoop on either side, and it opened up and kind of gave us this bigger triangle looking look. So I think my friend's gonna be quite pleased and impressed while we celebrate her birthday at a social distance. I hope these flowers brighten up my friend's birthday, and I hope the flowers that you make brighten up the lives of those around you during this quarantine. Now, I will be back next week with another craft on Wednesday, but in the meantime, show me what you make. Be creative, go crazy, do your own thing, and then share it with me. Now, I will see you at the library for Parkside pickup or talk to you on the phone as you request your items, and I will be back next Wednesday with another craft. But in the meantime, be safe and healthy, and I'll see you soon.